Yo, what's good, guys? We're back in action in the physical form. You guys knew that boot camp day 8 was coming, baby. I know you guys are freaking excited. I'm excited for this day. Last boot camp day was day 7. We finished it off with 1 week strong. Last video was about psychology. Day 6 was about liquidity. Day 5 about breaks of structure. Day 4 trends. We had our candlestick video, we had our market structure video, and then we had our intro. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna be pretty much just talking about goal setting. Oh, where did my thing go? You guys saw that, right? Oh, there we go, there we go. So we're gonna be talking about goal setting, and what I mean by goal setting for this bootcamp day is when it comes to emotions in trading, right? We have to have rules to stay profitable. We have to do these things to stay profitable because essentially, if we're not staying profitable, we're losing money, we're blowing accounts, right? So when it comes to goal setting, there's a difference between life or let's say outside trading goals, right? And then we have our, let's say, well, down here we'll put our in our trading goals. Okay, so this is gonna tie in because essentially when you have trading goals, you have to have in life goals. Just because trading affects your real life. Okay, so or actually let's do it like this actually. Because the thing about trading is has such a huge effect on your psychology and your mental stability. So when we're trading, when you're seeing thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars moving um in a certain direction, it tends to mess up your psychology when you're not trading, right? So that could be when you're at work, when you're spending money outside of work. Like it gets that deep, and most people are like, no, it's not that deep. Yes, it is that deep. And this is how I know because I've experienced it. I've experienced, not caring about money, spending money I need to spend because I don't have a feeling towards it, right? So when it comes to outside trading goals, we want to be in the gym, okay? We want to be mentally focused, right? Because when you're in the gym, you're relieving stress, okay? So what is this? Stress relief. Okay, so and I say this because when it comes to trading, guys, you're gonna be so stressed out when you lose. You're gonna be going through your emotions. You're gonna be going through these things. So you have to have goals in your life besides trading. So when we have goals that are building our mindset outside of trading, it's going to make us want to trade harder, want to get better at trading. But when you lock yourself away in a room, um, just because trading's not going well, you tend to get sad. You tend to get in your feelings and you tend to overthink about trading, not thinking you could do it, not believing in yourself. And self-belief is probably the number one thing that's actually going to get you rich in trading. It's just being so focused on the mission to where nothing else can bother you, and that's where the gym comes in. You need to be physically going crazy. You need to be relieving that stress. And if you don't have to go to the gym. Maybe hang out with friends, be social. You have to be social. You cannot lock yourself in a box. Do not do that, guys. You need to be still living your life when it comes to outside of trading. I know it's hard because you want to consume yourself with trading. You want to consume yourself with this knowledge, but I'm telling you from firsthand experience that you need from day one, yeah, lock in for a couple months, but after that, get back, start hanging out with your friends again, start doing things, and live your life because tomorrow's not promised. So we need to be executing these goals from the start, right? So the gym, okay, you need to be reading, okay, you need to be educating yourself on things that don't have to relate in trading, and reading this is outside of goals, right? You need to have goals, okay? The gym is a goal. If you're not in the gym, maybe ride a bike, maybe be physically active, right? When you're reading, you're educating your mindset, which is great, and then maybe making new friends, right? Um, just to relieve that stress from trading. Um, uh, Network, right? We need to be networking with traders in our area, meet up with friends online via Discord. You guys need to be doing those things. These are goals we need to have. We need to be saving our money better. These are all these are all things that are going to get you to that next level in trading. This all matters. Gym matters, reading matters, making new friends, networking, saving money. All this is psychology outside of trading that's going to benefit your actual trading, believe it or not, because trading is going to have you working on your mental health, right? And like I put it, mental health, right? You guys need to be working on that mental health. And I don't know if you guys are religious or not, but I should have put it on top, but it's fine. We need to have um God in our lives, right? We need to have some type of higher power. Um, and I'm a Christian, so I put God first. I let God lead me because you cannot do these things in life alone. It's very hard. And that's just me keeping it 100 with you guys. You know, you can't be cocky, guys. We can't do everything alone. You need to understand that you're a dumbass. You're human, okay? We make mistakes, but you need to understand that having these goals on the side, the gym, reading, making new friends, networking, saving money, having good mental health, putting God first, let's say learning, let's say learning, um, learning a fucking what? Learning what? What do you guys want to learn? Learn anything. Just learn. Okay. These are all the goals, okay, that you need to have. Okay. This is just eight out of many that you could be working on. So if you're watching this video and you're not in the gym trying to get fit, trying to stress relief, if you're not reading books to educate your mindset, if you're not making new friends in the gym, at work, if you're not trying to network with people in your area about trading, about entrepreneurship, if you're not trying to save your money so you can buy more fundeds or do whatever, if you're not working on your mental health, which ties into God, if you're not learning, then what are you doing? We need to have goals, guys. This is where most people fail in trading is they think, I'm just going to trade, I'm just going to get rich. But trading is going to have you working on your entire life, networking, building relationships, right? This is why it's so hard to trade because you literally have to work on all areas of your life. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about trading goals. Okay, so obviously some of our trading goals should be um, what? To get funded, right? To get funded. Okay. Our second goal needs to be what? To get funded, right? So what does that mean? By you getting a funded account, what does that mean? Let me say to be profitable for 2 months on demo. Okay. This is what I recommend. I said this in my last video. Not my last one, but the previous one. Profitable for 2 months. Okay. 2 months on demo. What is demo, guys? Demo is trading fake money. So now you know. So when you guys learn the strategy from this boot camp, we need to be profitable for 2 months on demo. So you need to be profitable with my strategy for 2 months on demo before you do that. So once you are profitable for 2 months, you're gonna buy a funded account. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. You're gonna buy a funded account. Okay, so now that you bought a funded account, what's the third goal, guys? We need to beat the funded challenge. Okay. And I literally beat a funded challenge in 4 days with the strategy. So you guys are going to be able to do it fast. So you need to be profitable for 2 months on demo. You guys are going to need to buy a funded account. You guys need to beat the funded account. And then what's the last goal when it comes to all these things is to to get a payout of what, $3,000 on that funded account. Okay. So that's your minimum payout to get a payout of $3,000 on the account. Okay. And then what's the next goal after that? That's going to be goal five, which is to stack multiple accounts, okay, and copy trade. Okay, so when you guys are stacking multiple accounts, that $3,000 of payouts turns into 3, 6, 9, 12, 18,000 or $15,000 in payouts. Okay, so this is where it starts to get crazy with the money amounts. Okay, that 3,000 turns into to 15,000. Okay, and that's when you have five funded accounts. Oh, beat. Okay, so we have our outside training goals with the real life. Gym, reading, making new friends, networking, saving money, mental health, putting God, learning, uh, getting better relationships with our families, not being so arrogant, not being so cocky, because guess what? Life gets in the way. Life's stressful. We need to be living every day like it's our last, putting God first and going crazy, baby, in these markets. You guys need to lock in. You guys, this is why the boot camp's here. We have our outside trading goals. You can add to this list, and we need to be going over. And then we have our trading goals to be profitable for 2 months on demo. We need to buy that funded account. We need to beat the funded challenge. We need to get a payout of 3,000. And then after that, we need to stack those multiple accounts. That way, at the end of it, you have a $15,000 payout total on all accounts, right? So How do we get there? Okay, these are our goal settings, but what are our rules for these goals, right? So we have to have rules when it comes to these things because you're not going to get anywhere if you don't have a foundation of rules. So this is where the psychology part comes in, right, guys? Because a lot of people are super anxious when it comes to trading. They want to make money fast, but that's just not the reality. It takes time, but that's why I'm taking you guys to this boot camp so you can understand how to trade. I'm going to teach you, and that's what I'm doing now. But we need to have rules, right? Because if you have no rules, then how are you supposed to become a profitable trader? Because you cannot become a profitable trader if you don't know how to control your emotions in the market. So, well, you ask, well, John, how do you control your emotions in the market, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're not going to overtrade, okay? Okay, what does that mean? You're not going to gamble, okay? You're not going to gamble, you know? And like I said, we need to have a system of what? You need to properly risk manage, okay? We need to properly risk these funded accounts with proper risk. And then our third is what you need to. So we have, okay, you're not going to overtrade, guys, okay? So we see, okay, these are the rules. You're not going to overtrade, okay? What does that mean? You're not going to be placing trades too much, okay? You're not going to overtrade. You're not going to gamble, okay? You're going to properly risk your accounts, okay? Okay. And then step three is what? Okay, so you're not going to overtrade. You're not going to gamble. You're going to properly risk your manage your account. Okay, so what does that mean? You're only only taking one trade a day if at that two. Okay, I only usually take one trade a day. There was that one time where I get re-entries because I knew it was going to win, but that's just how you manage the trades. Okay, so you're not going to overtrade. You're not going to gamble. You're going to properly risk your account. You're gonna only take one trade a day if at that max two. Okay, we could put that at that max two trades a day. Okay, and then what's step four? Okay, you're not okay. We're not gonna do these three things. Okay, and you're gonna need to control yourself. Okay, what do I mean by that? When you guys are fucking trading, I need you guys to fucking lock in and stop being retarded, okay? Stop being a dumbass. Once you lose, shut the laptop, okay? You're not gonna look at the market and be like, oh my God, I could get a re-entry here. Let me know. Less is always gonna be more, okay? We can write it here in bold. Less is more, dumbass, okay? Less is more, dumbass. I need you guys to lock in. I had to learn this the hard way. I would always overtrade. I would be like, no, if I could just hit this banger trade, I could get my account back. Or no, if I get this banger trade, I can make all the money back I lost. No, you're gonna lose it all, bro. How are you supposed to consistently be a profitable trader, buy a house, live on your own if you are over here gambling with your dumbass? You have to have super strict rules. And that's why I said, look at rule one. You're not going to overtrade because you're not going to gamble because you're not a dumbass. Okay. And number two, you're probably going to risk manage your account. What does that mean? You're not going to risk more than what your account to handle. Okay. What I mean by that, we could write step six. Okay. So, okay, guys, if you have $1,000 in your account, okay, and I don't even recommend you guys use your money, use funded accounts, but we can use $1,000. If you have $1,000 account, max risk is 50 bucks a trade. That's the max you should be risking on that account. Okay, you're not going to risk 100, you're not going to risk 200, you're going to risk $50 max. Bro, that's damn near 5% of your capital, okay? So you're not gonna risk more than that, bro. That's already hefty, okay? You should be realistically risking about fucking $10, okay? But that's just too little. So you need to have these rules. You need to have proper risk. So let's say for me, right? I have a $50,000 funded account, right? So I have $50,000, right? You risk, okay, 500 per trade. That's how much I risk on my $50,000 account. Okay. So you have a $50,000 account, you're risking 500 a trade max. Okay. I'm not risking more than that. And it's a funded account. So if you lose four trades, essentially you lose the account. But that's why my strategy is so good because we never lose four trades. And guess what? If you lose four trades, just buy another account. And if you're losing four trades back to back, there's something wrong with your strategy. Just keep it real. Okay. There's bad times in the market, but that's why you have to properly risk. So like let's say, I'm down to a couple more late trades left. Hey, I'm gonna lower the risk, maybe, a couple micro contracts, no mini contracts, right? So these are all the things we have to be thinking about. So these are our rules. You're not going to overtrade. You're not going to gamble. You're going to control your emotions. You're going to properly risk manage your account, whether that's you're trading a live account that has 1,000, 2,000 to $10,000, or if you have a funded account that's 50K, 100K, 150, unless you have a 25K account, right? And you're only going to trade one time a day. Once you press that buy button, you're never going to press that buy button again unless you're adding contracts on your position because you're winning. So you're never going to add more. You're never going to press buy more than once. You need to be disciplined with this. I know you guys have a hard time with, especially new traders, with thinking that the more you trade, the more likely you are to win, and that's false. The less is always going to be more in these markets. Like I said, I'd rather be up 2 to 4% a week than trade all week, lose win, and be up the same amount. If you're just strategic and patient, less is always going to be more. Okay, and then you're gonna need to control yourself when when you want to overtrade. You're gonna need to shut your laptop off. Okay, we don't need to be doing that dumb shit. We need to be locking in. We need to be properly traders. You guys, we're going up against hedge fund managers. We're going up bank people. We're going up BlackRock, Vanguard traders. We're going against New York Stock Exchange traders. What the fuck? How do you think we're gonna beat them if you can't even fucking control yourself and properly risk your account? Bro, if you think you could be a day trader, if you can't even fucking control yourself from over trading, how will you ever be profitable? Like, just think, guys. You got to use your fucking IQ. Okay. So, we're not going to do this shit. We're not going to over trade. We're not going to gamble because that's how you lose money and you stay unprofitable. Okay. You're going to properly risk your manager account. Okay. That's based off how much you have. You need to be risking 1 to 2%. Like I said, if you have 1,000, that's already 5%. That's already pushing it. But you're not. You might have to over leverage if you have a small account. If you're ready to do that, you're only going to take one or two trades a day max. Max. I only trade once a day. I've learned my lessons. Okay. You're not. You're going to need to control yourself. Like I said, less is more, dumbass. I just said that. Okay. Less is more, dumbass. Like you see here. Okay. We're going to highlight that shit because that shit's important. Okay, if you have $1,000, max risk $50, like I said, and same thing with the funded account. So we know our rules, okay? We know we have to be disciplined and locked in to become good traders, right? This is what the boot camp's for, okay? We have our outside trading goals. We have our trading goals. We have our rules, okay? Now, the last thing we're gonna add here is we're gonna add, affirmations, okay? You need to believe that you could fucking achieve, baby. And if you want to be on John X Moon's team, baby, we're gonna fucking win. Okay? That's what I'm saying, guys. I'm goaded, so you already know I got this shit, bro. Okay? We're going to the top together. This is why you guys watching the boot camp. Y'all gonna win with me. Okay? So we need to have affirmations. Okay? I will be a profitable day trader. Okay? Okay? I will achieve all my goals. Okay? I will achieve freedom. I will be a top dog in the industry. Okay. These are my affirmations. You guys can write your affirmations down here. I will be a profitable day trader. I will be a profitable day trader. I will achieve all my goals. I will achieve all my goals. I will achieve freedom. I will achieve freedom. I will be a top dog in the industry. I will be a top dog in the industry. These are the things that I've learned. Affirmations are powerful. You have to believe that you motherfucking could achieve, bitch. Okay? We need to be locked in. Okay? This is the boot camp, baby. This is where we're getting crazy. Okay? You guys need to understand that if you don't believe in yourself, no one's gonna believe in you. You need to walk with confidence and assertiveness in your life and say, no, I am that motherfucker. I am that guy. And I need to prove that to people. And the only way to prove that is to what? Like I said, to have outside trading goals, to have trading goals, to have your rules set, to have your affirmation set, to have your life set. That way you could be so great that the kid feel your fucking energy, that they feel that John X Moon's taking over. I could feel that shit, right? So we need to be locked in, guys. I need you guys to write your affirmations down. I need you guys to be locked in. I need you guys to be going out of your way to do extra things when it comes to networking, to saving money, to learning, putting God first, to beating a funded account. These are all the things we need to be doing, okay? This is how you win. You have to have goals. You have to be locked in. And if you're not, you're going to get beat by the guy who does. So we're going to circle this shit, okay? This is the shit we need to be locked in on, baby. Fuck, I messed it up. Okay, so we need to be locked in, right, guys? Like I said, if you believe you could achieve, that's what this video is about. We're locked in, and this is day motherfucking 8 of boot camp. Okay, so let's go over it again. Okay, goal setting or rules. We have outside trading goals. You guys need to fill this out yourself, whatever they may be. I want you guys to fill that out. Trading goals. We need to fill that out as well. Whatever your trading goals are, if you guys could copy me. It's fine. We're all traders. We might have similar goals. Okay, we have our rules. Okay, like I said, less is more, dumbass. Okay. Like I already said, we need to be locked in our rules to stay profitable. Okay. We need to have our affirmation set, baby, because this is how we win. This is how we fucking win, baby. You know what I'm saying? So when you want to win, gotta be locked in. Pause. So, like I said, this is what it is. Man, I'm just rhyming, bro. I should be a rapper, bro. What the hell? No, but not dead us, guys. Like, this is serious, you know? This is our goal settings. Okay, this is boot camp day 8. This is what we need to be going in as we continue to further this boot camp. We need to be locked in. We need to be making sure we're goal setting, making sure we're becoming the traders we want to be. You know, and if you guys are going through a rough time in your period, in your lifetime period where you feel like you're a victim, you need to get that shit out your head because no one cares. No one gives a fuck about you, bro. Real stuff. You need to lock in. You need to prove everybody wrong. You need to say, I can do this. I'm that guy. And unless you do that, no one's gonna believe in you. So when you're goal setting, when you're making these rules, you need to implement all that in your life. So we need to be keeping ourselves accountable for our mistakes. No one cares about you, bro. That's just reality. You have to care about yourself. I care about myself. This is why I goal set. This is why I have my affirmations, my rules, my training goals, because I know that if I don't, how am I supposed to leave an impact? So you guys need to be locked in. We need to be going crazy. We need to be staying confident. We need to be leveling up our mental fucking mindset, okay? This is how you win. This is how we outwork our competition. So we need to be going crazy, guys. Like I said, day 8 of the boot camp, day 9 is coming today. If I have time, I'll make a double video today. If not, tomorrow. And like I said, guys, I'm really, really, really trying to get this value back. And you guys need to understand that we will win. I will win. I will be a profitable day trader. I will achieve my goals. I will achieve financial freedom. I will be the top dog in the industry. And you have to actually believe that. So whatever your affirmations are, when you mean it, when you say it, you gotta mean that shit. For real, you gotta mean it. So that's the video, guys. Day 8 of the boot camp. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I have a free Discord that I'm gonna link in the description. Join that shit up. We call out the trades in there. And then also follow me on Instagram, John X Moon, Jon X, like the fucking moon you see outside, all lowercase. Give me a follow. DM me if you have any questions. Like this shit up. And let's get it, baby. We're gonna win. We just gotta stay consistent. That's the most powerful thing is never giving up, showing up every day, and to continuously win. And if you can't do that, you're gonna get left behind. So this is day camp, boot camp day 8. I'll see you boys later. Be safe. Put the shit down, all the dirty stuff. We need to be in the gym, staying focused, building our mindsets, and becoming better. And all you girls too, if you're watching this, girls, we love you. I'm in love with all the women here. No, I'm playing, but let's just continue to guys. If you're a girl, a guy, it all applies to you. If you're not doing this, you're not going to be a better trader. So, bootcamp day 8. Let's continue to show up. I'll see you guys bootcamp day 9. Peace.